people don't check TikTok, they watch TikTok. Every day, users are able to connect with real content just on the For You feed. 96% of users on TikTok spend time on the For You feed, by the way. So a lot of the time is spent on the For You feed. And why it's important to mention this is because really the content is built around your interests. So if you are constantly consuming film content, you know, you really want to get to understand what the new shows are, how they're performing. You're able to get all of that information just by being on TikTok. And what it does, it then feeds you more of that content, because now it's like, okay, you really like and enjoy this type of content, right? We can move on to the next slide. All right, thank you. And so 1 in 4 users, 1 in 4 have discovered and then shared about content on TikTok. So your brand can be discovered on TikTok, whether you're a filmmaker, whether you are a dressmaker, whatever it is that you are driving, that you're trying to get out there. Trust that there is a community that will discover your content. Your content will be served to the relevant audience. It's served to the relevant audience no matter your following size, because TikTok uses a content graph and not a social graph. So it's less about the number of followers you have, but more about the type of content that you are putting out. Is it resonating with the audiences? Are they enjoying the type of content that you are sharing? And that then drives to discoverability. And you're able to, I know a lot of us, you know, really want to go viral on the platform, but forget virality. It's important to focus on the quality of the content as well when you are on the platform. All right. We can move on to the next slide, please. I'll just wait for it before I proceed. Is my driver hearing me? Okay, I'll just give that just a little bit. Okay. We'll just wait. You guys are very attentive. I like that. Okay. The thing is, I wanted to show you guys the visuals, but we are really building a cultural revolution. TikTok is the cultural revolution for everybody, and you will see when the slides come up that 87% of our users say that they come across content that they can relate to themselves. Because, like I said earlier, it uses a personalized approach. So whatever it is that you enjoy in terms of content is what you will get served. And 60% of the users say TikTok is a place where people can express themselves openly. We are a place for creative expression, whatever it is, whatever that creative expression looks like for you. The platform is all about that. All right, I'm gonna move on because I'm not sure what is happening with the screens, but hopefully you can get the gist of what I'm trying to communicate here. We are joyfully redefining culture. We're redefining culture joyfully, whether it is through music, A very good example is how, Tyler was able to become such a hit and a viral moment. It all started on TikTok. Books. People discover books through Book Talk. We do have Book Talk, which is another community if you're a book lover, if you really love reading. And then film and TV is also quite a big one. In terms of film and TV, this is where really fandom is driving film and TV content. And what I mean by that is that we have content creators that actively tell the stories on behalf of the filmmakers. They come onto the platform and they're like, let me tell you if you should be wasting your time watching this movie or if it really is a go, if you should really be watching it. They are the voice, they are the new voices for filmmakers. And so that is how, we continue to redefine and build the culture. Food. If there's a, maybe a new food restaurant, there's a trust that there's a content creator that will go and try it out for you so that you don't have to go, or so that you really have to go and try it out. And they are really the authentic voices because they will tell you the truth. Content creators really, they are the shareable voices and they tell the truth. They do it authentically because, their audience trusts them. And that is, the beauty of being on the platform and really being a part of a community on TikTok. All right, I wanted to show you guys the slide, but unfortunately you won't see it. But really, in terms of our ecosystem, social media has followers, but TikTok has fans. And that's why we talk about fandom, because it's really about fans and less about the followers. And what that means is that, when you are a follower, half the time, or at least most of the time, you feel like you're not considered in the way that, someone who is a fan and a part of a community will be considered. On TikTok, it's much more easier to engage with someone who is maybe highly esteemed because they actually understand that, engaging with your audiences is important, but also driving and growing that fandom is also equally as important. So every loop or every layer really on TikTok touches on authenticity. Being authentic is really the key word here. Okay, are we still not winning there with my driver? Ish, I feel so bad, guys, because I really wanted you guys to see these slides. But while I'm still on community, TikTok is where community grows. We have communities around movies. We have active hashtags around movie talk, which is a generic hashtag for content around movies that you can check out for like new movie releases, recommendations for movies, or really reviews around movies. And it really just helps you save your time, like I said earlier, because sometimes you're like, is it worth a watch or not? We also have a global-wide hashtag that drives discovery called What to Watch. I do urge you, if you're really into film, TV content, or if you're a filmmaker, to really go and check that out. Just by searching What to Watch, you'll be amazed at at the amount of content that you will find underneath that hashtag. But also, in reverse, if you have a new movie or you really want to share your fandom, you can use that hashtag to drive discoverability for your own content. We also have, 80% of the users have engaged with their favorite shows or movies just by being on TikTok, because it is personalized like that. It really fits into what your interests are. So these communities really come together and they celebrate their love and passion for movies and films. TikTok connects you with the things you love before you even know you loved them. Because you discover on TikTok. And that discovery then leads to obsession. I've discovered so many things just by being on the platform. And it's because your For You feed, again, is personalized. So it serves you exactly what it is that you connect with, and the content that you resonate with, and one that feels authentic to you. We do have, of course, local hashtags where, for example, we just wrapped up a partnership with BB Niger, and it was, honestly, every year we anticipate that BB Niger will do really well on TikTok, but it just keeps getting better because of the fans that are driving the fandom. They are actively creating content around BB Niger. The conversation was massive. And fandom is what continues to drive those types of conversations. TikTok is a place where creativity flourishes. 68% of TikTokers have co-created content related to a show or a movie. And we have many various ways that you can do it, through stitching, through green screen. For filmmakers who want to share, their trailers, or brand partners, they're able to just share their original content. Our community really loves behind the scenes content. They love to feel like they're a part of the conversation. So behind the scenes does really well. Trailers as well. But you need to be very smart about how you put out those trailers, right? You need to get that very juicy part of the trailer and put it out. Content creators who are fans of a particular film or TV are basically reenacting scenes. They're able to reenact scenes. We also have commentary, which is also doing really, really well on the platform. And this is really where there's a fine line between, reviewing and sharing what you thought about that particular show or movie. We've got cosplaying, which is also another type of creation when you're speaking to fandom. We've got facts, and then we've got driving for reaching affinity. And these are just some of the ways that our creators and filmmakers are coming onto the platform and really driving the stories, crafting and telling their stories, and I guess building and creating the culture as well, because that is what TikTok is about. And so when these things all work together, this is when culture happens. Okay, I'm gonna move on to the next one. Next one. Next slide, please, because that's quite... All right. So we have communities that say TikTok made me watch it. Just purely by seeing, from what I shared earlier, the cosplaying, the co-creation, the commentary. We have, people watching the show because it blew up on TikTok. Earlier, I think it was last year when Barbie came out, everybody was in pink because they really wanted to go and see Barbie because everybody was talking about it on TikTok. And so that is the power of the platform, and how you're able to really reach a large audience by just sharing to your audiences on the platform, especially within entertainment, right? Because like I said earlier, we are an entertainment-first video platform. So 47% of our users say that they have discovered a new movie that was coming into theaters or that was launching on a streaming platform by just being on TikTok. All right. So the big question, I guess, is who is fueling fandom or film fandom on the platform? Really, it is the filmmakers who come on and they share their stories on the platform. They create awareness around their films on the platform. Content creators, in fact, content creators are probably the biggest fuelers because they are so much in it that they are telling the story, like I said earlier, on behalf of the movie studios, on behalf of the filmmakers. They are really the mouthpieces and they are authentic while doing it. Movie studios, of course, and production houses. So filmmakers, through sharing their trailers on upcoming movies, upcoming productions, content creators through their reviews and recommendations, and lastly, movie studios or streaming platforms on the platform sharing throw forwards content, behind the scenes content, and really driving sales and subscriptions. Excuse me. Right, we can move. Oh, I think you're moving too fast, but okay. I guess we're on this one. So TikTok keeps viewers engaged with their favorite streaming content and movie experiences. How? So TikTok users state that TikTok motivates them to keep their streaming subscriptions active. Whereas they really had a choice to be like, do I really need the streaming platform? Do I still want to continue paying for it? But because we have content creators who are authentically sharing their recommendations, sharing their reviews on the platform, we see that, people will likely actually keep these subscriptions just based on that. And after discovering a new movie, user says that they take further action. 38% have purchased a movie ticket. 42% have looked up a show time, like, oh, what time is that show again? That Yemi mentioned last week. 47% have discussed the movie with others. They've had debrief sessions around it, and 73% have watched the trailer. And this is where a community is built, culture is redefined. Next slide, please. And so together we really can take fandom to a whole new level. 58% of the users are interested in seeing more content from entertainment studios on TikTok. They really want to see that content, especially behind the scenes content and trailers. Very, very, they resonate very well with the audiences on the platform. We can move on to the next slide, where I touch on opportunities for filmmakers on the platform. So opportunities really for filmmakers on the platform, it's a really great testing ground for new concepts. Let me tell you one thing about the audience on TikTok. They are so authentic. They will know, well, maybe some will lie, but majority will not lie to you. So it's a good testing ground for a new concept to say, okay, my audience really loves this. And how you're able to gauge that is really just through checking your insights. You're able to check your insights using TikTok Studio that will give you all of those key insights in terms of your audience. Are they watching the video throughout to the end? Are they engaging with it? Are they commenting? Are they liking? Are they following your page? And then secondly, you're able to promote films cost-free. All you need to do is use your phone, your mobile, or your desktop, if you wish. But it really is a platform we have now become a fully fledged marketing tool, specifically for creatives. Creatives are able to share content and promote their content or whatever it is that they're trying to get out there cost-free on the platform. Another opportunity, behind the scenes content boosting, really, really important. And what we have come to see, like I said earlier, behind the scenes content performs really well on the platform, because then your community feels like they are a part of the conversation. They're a part of your daily life. They love it. And that's because it is a community, and a community thrives on authenticity. They really want to feel like they're very close to you and they resonate with the content. All right, and then lastly, you're able to really build hype for new releases. New products, new releases, you're able to build hype, gather your community, tell them about it, ask them what they think about it. They will give you very fair and free feedback. And where we come in really in terms of shared values is all of these entertain. We really are about entertaining, and when you come in and you're sharing entertaining content, we love it. We're about telling stories as well. We're about telling stories far and wide on your behalf, where you're able to reach a global audience on the platform. We're about building a community. Communities are very important. I cannot stress that enough. And then we really are about inspiring cultural movements. Building and inspiring cultural movements is really what we are about. So as you can see, it's a full cycle marketing solution where, entertainment partners can discover but also convert their users into not just a community or an audience, but super fans. And that is where Fandom now is built. We really have the tools for discovery. This is where really different content formats are able to empower you to genuinely connect with your fandoms. Whether you're repurposing existing content or creating something entirely new, this is the place. And users on TikTok spend half of their time watching long-form content. If it's a great story to tell, trust that your audience will stay glued to long-form content. Yes, we are a short-form video platform, but we have seen that sometimes, a great story requires longer form, a great story requires more time. And so if it connects and resonates with your audiences, then trust that they will stay tuned in. We can move on to the next one. I'm just gonna glide through this. I'm almost at the end, guys. Bear with me. Next slide. So movies and TV launch further. Whoa. With a combination of our paid and organic initiatives, which I'm not really going to touch on, but what I really wanted to drive home here with this slide is really these are some of the global movies that have gone and built a large audience just by being on TikTok, but they have also sold out in movie theaters just because somebody was a fan of a particular movie. All right, we can move on to the next slide. And we have the tools for community. We've got the tools for community. 73% of our users say that they feel a deeper connection to brands on TikTok than on any other platform. So you can just imagine that. Comments are really the modern day autograph. So I really do urge you when you are on the platform to engage with your audiences. When they comment, please engage them back, because this is how you build trust, but also build an audience and a community on the platform. Thanks, we can move on to the next one. All right. So on TikTok, really, the audiences are looking to experience entertainment as a fully communal event where they express creativity through fandom. And I'm going to touch on what that looks like in the next last slides. We can move on to the next slide. And actually, I think the next we can skip through this one and move to slide 33. Where creator recommendations are highly valued. Yeah, you can move to the next one and the next one. Next one. I want to show you guys what that fandom ecosystem looks like, but how it comes to life on the platform as well. And the next one. Okay, but essentially you'll see creator recommendations are highly valued. So creators on the platform, like I said, are the authentic voices for storytelling. And you will see that they go neck to neck with the recommendations of friends and family. So the audience on the platform really trusts, there we go, they really trust recommendations that are coming from content creators on the platform. If you look at those graphs, in terms of streaming services, the red shows you recommendations by friends and family as against those by creators. Very, very close. So creators are really moving the needle forward, creating the culture, telling the story, but also motivating for subscriptions and services to be kept. Because now they're saying, you know, that movie is worth watching, that show is worth watching, go and watch it. So for quality, really, creator recommendations are highly valued by users on the platform, and they rank very well alongside those of family and friends. We can move on to the next slide. And this is really how users are able to turn fan content when discovering what to watch. They really trust it. Right. In terms of the content that they are consuming when it comes to driving fandom, you will see that 46% of the types of content that have been consumed on TikTok, the largest is teaser clips. So teaser clips are really, really good in terms of driving that audience, but also fandom. Spoiler-free reviews, as long as it's not a spoiler, the audience love it and they consume that because they really want to know the gist, right? Cliffhanger highlights, also very important. Series overviews on 34%. Behind the scenes, which I have mentioned earlier, 32% of the audiences are consuming that type of content. And then fan theories and predictions, also at 32%. Binge-worthy recommendation lists and character arc content are at 28%. So this really just gives you a view of the type of content that the audience is consuming and how users are really turning that fan content and discovering what to watch on the platform. We can move on to the next slide. So TikTok really owns the space, the creator space, at a time where creators drive entertainment consumption. They are the biggest drivers currently on the platform that are driving consumption of movie, TV, film content on the platform just by being fans because they enjoy that type of content. All right, we can move on to the next one. So yeah, I think I'm on my last 3 slides, but really creators of the new word of mouth. They really embrace fan content and they drive the culture. They enable us to really fully tap into the culture. And we can move on to the next one. Is it? Yes. So we really can maximize impact on the platform. I urge you to really do maximize impact on the platform through all of the bits and pieces that I've shared in terms of how you're able to grow an audience, how you're able to discover content on the platform, but also how you're able to become the driver of fandom yourself as a content creator. Next slide. I really hope that these last 3 videos play, but really we are empowering a new generation of filmmakers through community. And you will see with these videos that I will be sharing with you how this is done. The first one is by one of our content creators who really is into that fandom creation space. And she is really a trusted source of whether you should be watching a movie or not. She gives recommendations, reviews, and she's able to also tell the story on behalf of those films. And then the second one is a streaming service that does a really great job of showing you just enough to drive you to their streaming platform. TikTok is not just a platform. It is Africa's new stage and the world is watching. So go on, create, be a co-creator, share your content on the platform, and I hope you enjoyed the session. Thank you so much, guys.